picking up where we left off. More than a woman.
More than a woman to me. That's a good song.
What are some other good songs from that?
Great song.
September.
We had a
I was off key there.
field trip to Canada on the 21st of September, senior year.
Oh my god.
And that song
oh my god.
was played non-stop for 4 hours, both ways. Or 3 hours or two, whatever. A long time.
Oh my god. It reminds me of an idea I came up with today, whereas if we record an episode on 420, can we all smoke beforehand and call it the Bake Racers podcast?
Well, we don't have to smoke and do anything illegal. We could just get some like Delta 8.
Yeah.
Edibles.
Just take some some CBD gummies.
Yeah.
It'd be Bake Racers podcast for a day.
Unfortunately, I have final exams the next day, so you guys can do what you want.
I already look like I smoke pot,
I
so.
can't believe this guy just said Bake Racers podcast.
Yeah, because we're going to be baking brownies, right, guys?
Baby pot brownies?
Funny story. So we went to a garage sale after freshman year, and like one of my coping mechanisms for all my stress was to bake brownies. And I kid you not, we're at a garage sale, and there's this cool pan. It's got like a cutter that you can like put down into the pan after you bake the brownies in it. And my mom just tells this lady, "Oh yeah, he really got into baking brownies his freshman year of college." And the lady just looks at her. It's like,
so
I can't.
Because you know me, most innocent person in the world.
Have you had that stored up, Matt? Oh my god!
I thought of it today. I was like, "Oh, I can't wait."
Oh my god!
Oh, you're making the participation ribbons.
Yeah,
today?
Yeah. I think I actually did make participation ones today.
Holy
I
crap! Bake Racers podcast.
Wait, no, sorry. I'm starting on them tomorrow. I did first and second place today.
Good job. Winners get done on Monday.
So can I tell a story about making weed brownies? It wasn't me. It was my roommates.
You be very careful.
How long ago was it?
Year and a half ago.
Ooh,
I also live in California I live in California where it's basically
fine, yeah.
you could basically just like hit a vape pen in a Target and it's fine.
Okay.
So I have a couple friends who bought a house, and my friend Janae, she works in agriculture. I can't remember exactly what she does.
I wouldn't be using names.
It's fine. I get her first name. Who cares? So the two of them, though, they grew some marijuana on their farm on their house, and then my roommate went and picked all of it and cleaned it and everything, or not cleaned it, but I don't know the terms. I don't smoke, if that's not evidently clear. So if listening to when you look at me and you're like, oh, that guy smokes, but then you listen to me talk and I'm like, dude, I've done so many pots that it's like, okay. So anyway, we had just mason jars, full, like 6 or 7 of them, just completely full. And so my two roommates just decided to turn a bunch of it into butter, and they made edibles constantly for like 6 months. It was great.
Is that the story?
Pretty much. I mean, it's just the fact that like you're talking about baking, and I was like, I came home so many times and the house just smelled like weed, and they're like, we're making brownies again.
There's a lot of hiking at that movie theater.
Oh my gosh. I'm down. I'll get some.
It's not about it's not the destination, it's the climb, okay? Miley Cyrus taught me that.
Jesus God, Lord. Anyway, Delta 8 for the 420 podcast. We're gonna do it.
Booyah.
You guys can get Tommy to do that podcast.
Because I can't live where I can do that, so I gotta.
Is it not legal in Florida?
No, I would have to get some. I would have to get.
That is wild.
There's a lot of things that should be legal in Florida that aren't, but that's a topic
I mean, with how many people?
Ooh,
I was gonna say, with how many people there are on meth in Florida, you'd think they'd legalize something.
Oh my god! All right,
so.
If last week wasn't PG-13, this week definitely has already climbed into that territory, and we are 4.5, almost 5 points in. So.
Oh, I was hoping never mind.
It's the sunglasses, man.
Yeah,
it's the sunglasses. They're causing
you guys really
ruckus.
Cool. Yeah. But do we want to get started? So we got a decent amount of stuff this week.
We do. Yeah.
Because we look like we're California boys,
Mhm.
we're folding right into the theme of the podcast, which is
Mhm.
Fontana.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Of course.
So,
No, I'm not doing your intro for you again.
hey folks, this is Fake Racers Podcast. I'm Joe,
I'm Davey.
Hi, Matthew.
and we are your guides to the last weekend in motorsports. No, we're not.
No, we're
Please do
not.
not take anything that we say for any value or context. This is solely to laugh at us and make fun of us, and hopefully argue with us. But can't thank you enough for watching, as always, here
God,
on
I love
JTN2
arguing.
or listening on Spotify. With all that being said, though, grand larceny. Kyle Larson steals a victory in Fontana.
Can I just say how good it feels to be on the winning side of a driver that pisses everybody off when he wins all the time? Like, is this what it feels like to be a Jimmy Johnson fan?
Oh yeah,
'Cause
baby.
this is kind of awesome.
Oh yeah. And then people get mad, and then you just point at any one of the 7 rings. It's so nice. It's so nice.
Oh,
It's good
love
times.
it's a new feeling.
Tyler Reddick, really, really quick.
Oh, that's heartbreaking, man.
Probably shoulda, coulda, woulda won the race if he doesn't have a parts failure. I don't remember exactly what it was.
He blew a tire. I know
He
I
that.
thought
blew
it was just a. I
was
thought
it
it
just
was
a
just
tire?
a tire.
Yeah, because they were in the middle of Crank It Up when it happened,
Right.
and like the flyby shot as he came by, you could see all the rubber flying off the
Yeah.
car. So
I remember yelling at the TV saying, "Look out, Eric! Look out!"
yeah,
You
waiting
should have
to
said
do
look
what
out,
William
Byron.
Byron did.
Apparently,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh,
that was a bummer. Like he put together such a good race, and like
Until it
even
didn't.
overcame the issues he was having with his seatbelts and everything, and he was just putting on a clinic.
So he was on XM today because he's always on the show with Larry McReynolds, and it's normally Danielle Trotta on
Yeah.
XM, and
Ayo.
they asked him about that because I think it was Alan Cavana today. It asked him about, like why was it the belts? And Reddick said he doesn't know. They didn't know it wasn't the belts. So, hopefully that's not a bigger issue because, numbness in your leg can mean a lot of things. But no, I mean a great race for him. I mean, you win both
Stuff like that.
stages, and this is why stage racing. I know everyone, stage racing sucks. Stage racing salvaged a 24th place finish for Reddick, right? I mean, like it or hate it, that's kind of mindset with the stage racing. He got 35 points instead of 20, or instead of 15. So
yeah, the thing with the numbness is sometimes that can just happen where you just get seated in wrong and something gets pinched. Because I remember Justin Wilson had that a couple times when he was in F1, where like his Hans device wasn't fitted right, and he's like, "Yeah, my left arm's numb. I need to stop." So
yeah, that really does sometimes just happen. Like I've obviously never been strapped into a race car, but I know you get. I mean, it's the race car strapped to your back, so like, that's not like a figurative term. Like you are in there, so any little small difference in positioning, where your feet are going, like a lot of people are asking why he didn't feel that at Daytona. Well, probably because he positions his legs a little differently for Daytona than he does Auto Club, just because of the type of track that it is. A multitude of things.
believe it or not, I bet you probably need your left leg a little more at Daytona, and
Possibly
potentially at Auto Club.
Yeah,
There's a lot more roll off of throttle. In Daytona, you're
you're
using the brakes to drag back to the guy behind you. And
and you're probably also bracing on the brakes a little bit here and there too. So that makes sense.
Yeah,
but
it's a bummer. He's gonna get that win though. Like, I mean, he showed that he is legit, and like Tyler Reddick's good enough to where that's not going to be a one-off thing. Like he's going to win a race this year.
I don't know if I said it here, if I said it amongst friends, but I really do think Tyler Reddick's going to be a threat this year.
Oh yeah, yep,
good stuff.
And his teammate did pretty good too, and we'll talk about that. But good finish. RCR and their entire alliance, which this next guy is part of, Eric Jones, showed a lot of speed here,
dude. Where
Really
did that come from?
That was impressive. That was very impressive.
Hey, give the man a good race car and look what he can do. That's all I'm gonna say.
They came out swinging, dude. So I want to talk about, because there was a point earlier. Ty Dillon he ended up finishing like 18th, and Eric
17th.
finished 4th. Was 17th, and Eric finished
third.
like 3rd or 4th. Yeah,
Third.
and I was pointing out earlier where he was running second and Ty Dillon was 31st. And I kind of feel like because they're the whole GMS Petty merger, that the 43 was obviously Petty's team and the 42 is obviously the GMS team, and then they brought together. And it does seem like Eric's team and the RPM guys were ready to go more than GMS because Eric just ran laps around Ty Dillon this week. And like, I didn't see Ty Dillon a single time during the Daytona 500. They never talked about him during this race, and Eric Jones has run really well in both races so far.
Yeah. I wonder if that's a thing, especially with how little, parts all they have, teams have, and stuff. Like, probably still piecing together what they had and what they had previously. Like, that deal, like, it's not necessarily a new deal, but, like, it came together later than a lot of other programs, so it makes sense.
I mean, 94, which was going to be GMS, that was pretty much established before the offseason, so I don't know if I lend it to that as much as the 43 team was put together earlier, right? Like the team itself, the engineers, Dave
I was speaking mostly on the
I
was speaking mostly on the disparity happening because of that. The deal they were put together was so late.
Because that whole 43 team's been together for years, obviously. The 42 team's brand new for this year. So definitely going to be a bit of a performance difference between the two.
But there was and I talked with friend of the show, John. Hey, buddy, I see you.
Fellow Eric Jones stan.
Yeah, right? It felt really good to see him doing better than all the Gibbs cars. Which I don't have that in our notes. We can talk about it. But a couple more things. Just really, first of all, this is what we wanted with this car, right? We wanted to see guys that maybe last year or the year before wouldn't be able to compete, be able to compete. There's more examples of that we'll get to. But it seems, at least in the early stages, which is what I think everyone probably expected, probably in the early stages of the season, we'll see more of this parity. Later in the year, maybe not as much. You'll see those big teams. And still, we have Penske, Hendrick as our 3 race wins on the year. So it's not like, in terms of victories, but if you look at the top 10, 19 different people have finished in the top 10. The only repeat is Eric Almirola.
When I saw that today while I was on my break at work, and I was like, who's the only guy to have 2? And then at the very end of the tweet, it said Eric Almirola, and I was like, are you serious right now?
That is upsetting.
But this is what people wanted out of this car. I mean, a guy like Eric Jones had a good clash, really good Daytona going until the wreck late. Good race here.
Aren't there a handful of really good guys who are still behind Jacques Villeneuve in points?
Yeah. Christopher Bell, William Byron, and there was 2 other people. I can't remember. Harrison Burton, and there's one other person.
Christopher Bell is 36th in points with 10 points. I can't tell you why I know that, but I know it.
It's going to be a spiteful start to this year, isn't it? But yeah, Jones had a great run. Stenhouse has been top 5 speed both races this season. He kind of faded at the end, but still
got a top 10 though.
Did he? Oh, awesome.
I think so, or 11th, but still good finish considering the downside is there. Well, let's kind of do this out of order then. We'll talk about this other thing that I have as the next thing. But Daniel Hemrick rebounds. They had shift problem early. He was 4 or so laps down.
He was, I think 6 is what they said.
Was he 6? Okay, he was 6
laps down.
And finished.
He was also he was my random fantasy pick. And then I was like, man, that was crazy. And then I went back and looked. And I was like, all right, let's go.
So good for colleague. Justin Haley was running up inside the top 15 for pretty much the second half of the race and was in position to get a good finish, and then got spun coming across the line at the white flag. Kurt Busch.
They never showed what happened there, did they?
It's Fox. Kurt Busch had to start the rear for failing tech 3 times, drove up through the field, then got a penalty, had to drive back up through the field. Then I think he got another penalty, drove back up into the field to finish inside the top 10. Again, he was the best finishing Toyota. And that is your new 2311 measuring stick. Bubba was doing top 15 speed, which I think is probably whereabouts he should be. And then mistake late, collected Keselowski and some Harrison Burton.
Didn't he still finish top 15?
Did Bubba? I don't remember.
I think he did.
If he did,
it's 2 weeks in a row he's finished without a right front fender. So.
I was gonna say, I feel like that might hurt the car a little more here. Davey, you seem like you're ready to say something.
I finished 19th. Yeah.
No, I was just like you guys are saying all this, and like there was so much movement in the top 20. I don't even really know the full picture because I mean, there's just so many names that were in and out of the top 20 all day. It was just like I almost couldn't keep up.
Throw a dart at a 2022 NASCAR poster with all the drivers, and
they were
more than likely
going
to hit somebody who ran in the top 10 during this race. It was ridiculous.
Daniel Suarez obviously was leading with like 3 laps to go and made the wrong lane decision down into 3 and 4.
Would it look like a genius if Larson sent it to the bottom,
or walled it,
or sent it to the bottom, so walled it or sent it to the bottom? Would have looked like an absolute genius.
Yeah,
just didn't work out. Happens.
But I think he ended up finishing 4th.
Something like that, somewhere in the top 4. So,
so
yeah, I mean that was like the first time we've ever seen Suarez battling for a win in Cup. So gonna learn. So
yeah.
I mean, both Trackhouse cars, if Ross didn't spin, probably would have finished top 5.
Well,
they came alive late.
And the thing with Ross was he had the big crash in qualifying or in practice before qualifying on Saturday, so that was a backup car. They started at the back. Austin Dillon kind of redeems RCR, gets the 2nd place finish. He came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Was kind of 12th all day, and then did some restart magic. That was the thing about this race. I think we got the best of both worlds. The last couple of years, restarts have been absolutely bonkers, and then we kind of get strung out, and then no one can pass, where it seemed like this week, the restarts were still bonkers, and that's probably partially because it's Auto Club.
Yeah.
But guys were still able to pass, right? Eric Jones gets the lead off the start. Reddick gets by him. Reddick kind of dominates that portion. You have guys like Jones, Chase, Byron. Alex Bowman was up there in the second half of the just kind of moving, like you said, a lot of movement in the top 10, which is always good to see.
Yeah.
We haven't said it verbatim yet, but absolutely fantastic race. Some of the most fun I've had watching a Cup race in years. Like, I don't mean that with any hyperbole at all.
I saw people complain about it being long. I didn't mind. There was a lot of cautions.
It just gave me more race to watch. I was like, I don't want this to end. This is awesome.
It did feel long. I can attest to it feeling long. I had a headache at one point in the race, and I laid my head down. I woke up, and it was still stage 2. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's valid. Auto Club races tend to kind of drag because the next gen being a little slower.
It wasn't a drag. I had a headache. I trust me, the race was still on. I had to close my eyes, and I woke back up, and bam, stage 2. I was like, wow, I still have not most, but like a good portion of the race left. So I can attest to it feeling long. Didn't mind though. It was good.
The thing that the two most cancerous fan bases in all of motorsports want to talk about, so we'll talk about it next. Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. Larson makes a late block late in the race. Puts Chase in the wall. Chase has a hissy fit on the radio. That's the only way I can describe it, because it was, I think they showed he was complaining about it for 5 or 6 laps. But discuss.
So I'm gonna start with the situation. I know all these drivers have spotters that they listen to. I am also a big believer that if you're going to be a race car driver, you can't only rely on your spotter. And still really dumb move by Kyle Larson. And I think Kyle Larson will admit as much. Spotter also took... Joe's holding up 3 fingers. I don't know what that means.
3 for Dale.
Three times Larson's wrecked somebody this year.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that. Yeah, at once every race, right? Yeah. Pretty funny. I said
nobody
yesterday.
Look up how many times Brad spun somebody out in the Clash.
Hey, he didn't spin anyone out in the Clash. It was the 500, you dingus.
Yeah, but he caused more wrecks in the 500 than Larson.
He was too slow to spin anyone out in the Clash.
Yeah, he's only caused 3 of the biggest wrecks of this year. Anyway, sorry,
2. Anyway,
listen. Don't throw your stones at this glass house, buddy.
I'm throwing them.
Because I'll throw the dynamite at your brick house.
Kyle Larson has been a weapon this year. If you deny it, you're delusional.
Oh, I'm not denying it.
There you go. And it was a bit dumb. I feel like that's a driver that relying on a spotter too much, and I think the spotter took ownership of the incident, which good on him, but I don't think he really needed to. I don't think he had to do that. Chase Elliott fans are just a little bit insane. Chase Elliott then goes and whines about it for 5 laps, which, you know what? Fair enough. I like hearing it out of him. It's good. I'm not saying whine in a negative context. I actually am glad that he's whining about something because Lord knows I'm sick of him being boring. Everyone gets mad when I say that.
Why? Because it's true.
It's not that I don't think he's boring. It's just calling him boring or verbatim is boring.
I agree. It is boring, but he's boring.
He's not interesting. How about that? Our words make you happy?
I don't find him as intriguing as a person as anyone else does. And then Chase goes and dumps it on purpose, wearing white gloves.
No, he didn't do that. No.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No.
Yes, he did.
No.
Oh,
no, just like he didn't try to block his teammate down the front straightaway.
Yeah.
Just like he did at Bristol.
That happens. Yeah.
So,
just dump a guy. If you're mad, just dump him. Stop with this BS. Just dump him.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Angry Chase is pretty cool.
Yeah. So I totally understood why Chase was mad, and this is coming from somebody who is very open about being a Kyle Larson fan, and also said during the course of last year that I like Chase Elliott a lot less than I used to because he Chase Elliott is the king of the unforced error in NASCAR. When he ran his car into the wall 3 times while he was in the lead early in the race and put himself 2 laps down. Oh my God. But I totally understand why he was that mad because he overcame that mistake from 2 laps down as making a move, and it's his teammate of all people that puts him in the wall. That said, in the end, you are still an employee of Hendrick Motorsports, and to intentionally spin your car out to try to screw over your teammate, allegedly, like, that's ridiculous, dude. Like, if I was Rick Hendrick, I would be livid, and it's a good thing Kyle Larson still hung on to that race for the sake of that company.
It's a bit.
Oh my God,
it was a bit much. Yeah. I enjoyed it from like a pure entertainment perspective. But if I'm looking at it from the perspective of HMS, of NASCAR, of Kyle Larson, it was overstepping a few boundaries. His crew chief and his spotter need to be in his ear, not egging him on.
Yeah.
They need to take a little bit of responsibility for that. I think it's a bit silly to go and cause a wreck, block your teammate down the front stretch. I think that's too much.
This is the same thing they did at Bristol last year, right? They egged him on. Oh, he took you out. Kevin Harvick raced you hard, like you raced everyone else hard, and you were on the wrong side of it this time.
Yeah. Like Chase Elliott's already, I feel like, aggressive enough.
Yeah,
it's time to pull the reins in when he gets mad enough to do something stupid like that. Because it was stupid. It was fun to watch, but it was stupid. Like in a real scenario.
The big thing is NASCAR's not going to do anything. I don't know how much I agree with the intentional, not intentional, whatever. I'm not. Okay. I can see why you would do it intentionally. I can see why that's not the case. Maybe it's just overreaction. But
maybe he didn't intentionally spin, but he definitely didn't try to save it.
Exactly.
No. Every person who's ever driven a race car that I saw on Twitter comment on it was like, "Oh, them white gloves, they'll tell on you."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah."
Told on Carl Edwards in 2010 too.
Yup. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
He legit tried to kill somebody. There's a little bit of a difference. Anyways, not to unbury the hatchet, but
you just did. So
do it. My heart. I mean, this is the same thing you saw at Bristol last year. You saw this at the Roval. Part of it. I've seen other people make this point, and I don't know if the parallelism is right in this case. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson. All of a sudden, you're not Wonder Boy anymore, and there's a new kid on the block. It does seem like that a little bit.
Yeah.
Chase has his career year, wins the title in 2020. Larson's brought in, and Larson wins 10 races and the championship. double the races. Chase won twice last year, one of which he probably wouldn't have won if it wasn't for the monsoon. I don't know.
Which there's also a lot of wins that he gave away of his own volition.
Oh yeah.
So the way Chase's career has kind of evolved over the last 2 years reminds me a lot or I'll get to what it reminds me in a second. But like I said, he's the king of the unforced error. But I get why he can get that frustrated, because he does get used up a lot by other guys a lot. But at the same time, he's also the guy doing it a lot too. Chase is very aggressive, but he doesn't seem to be able to be aggressive kind of within his own limits at times. You know, stuff like when he just flat out put DiBenedetto on the wall at Daytona last year, or just missing the corner at Bristol and wrecking him and Joey Logano battling for the win, stuff like that.
That was okay because it was Logano.
Well, yeah, obviously. But it reminds me a lot, though, of... Do you remember when Joey Logano first came to Cup and he rubbed people the wrong way a lot and he got used up a lot and then he eventually just became the villain? Yeah. I can almost kind of see Chase going down that trajectory now, because they're both the wonder kid coming in with all the hype and all the money, and people don't really respect him on track, and they're not gonna have a lot of their fellow drivers liking him for very much longer.
The problem with Chase is, I don't think he can ever truly embrace the black hat like a Joey Logano, like a Kyle Busch.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to go full villain, but I think you're going to see Chase is just going to... A little bit, yeah. I think on the track, he's just going to kind of be a no F's given kind of guy and just be way too aggressive.
He's not going to make the heel turn, but he'll kind of ride the edge. Again, it's so weird because he's still going to be the most popular driver, right? I mean, think about this. This guy has 3 fan bases that all kind of started cheering for him, right? His dad's fan base, Jeff Gordon's fan base, and Dale Jr.'s fan base. So,
it's weird to me, too, that so many... Like, I was a lifelong, diehard Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan. There's basically nothing Jr. could have ever done in his career to turn him on, or turn my opinion on him. But it's something about Chase Elliott over the last year and a half that I've just kind of been... He went from one of my favorite drivers to I'm just like, don't really care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, you bring up an interesting point there with the Jimmy Johnson Jeff Gordon comparison. I don't think it'll get to that point, but I think the ingredients are there. I think Chase Elliott is, like, as a race car driver, at least hungry enough to make things happen and get a little angry, and like I don't think we're gonna that Jeff Gordon Jimmy Johnson thing was like a season or two of like some bad-ish blood here and there. I don't know if we'll ever get that out of these two, but I think it, like, if stuff like this continues to happen, I mean, they don't seem like close friends or anything. Chase, I mean, HMS, like, it is Chase Elliott, but it's becoming Kyle Larson, and I don't, there may be some pressure there.
Yeah.
I think Chase just signed that 5-year extension, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they're gonna have to learn to get along, because
you better hope
neither of them are going anywhere.
Thing. Exactly.
I think also Rick Hendrick and Jeff Gordon, having lived through that already, that whole beef between teammates, they don't want to deal with it again.
I having that competition within the team, I think, is good, though.
Yeah.
Look how Jeff Gordon's career was going there, 9, 10, 11, and then kind of just turning it on those last 3 or so years. I don't know. I think it's good. It's good that he has someone in-house to push him, because you can very quickly kind of rest on your laurels. When you're the man.
Yeah.
And Chase, after last year, is not the man at Hendrick. Larson is. It shows in the betting odds every week. It shows in the championship title odds. It right? Shows in who we freaking pick. Last week. Oh, well, I won't take Larson because that's too easy. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of this weekend, but I just rivalries are good. I mean, look at Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano. Hamlin, Logano. There's good rivalries out there. Pretty much Logano versus everybody.
Also, we kind of skipped over it, but Larson did do in one of his post-race, like when he sits at the, I don't know, I guess press conference would be what it was.
In the media center.
And he fully broke down everything that happened, and he took he's like, I made a really dumb move, and then his spotter even said the same thing, that he called it super late, and he's like, so there's a little bit of blame on both of us, and he's like, obviously I don't want to race like that. It was just a mistake on my part. Obviously it doesn't matter. Unwreck Chase's car, right. But it's not that he's just like, whatever.
Yeah, so. But you also have to look into that, like, okay, that's what he has to say as a teammate, too, so... I mean, it's just, it's a complex situation. It doesn't matter what Larson says, it just matters what Chase thinks and vice versa. Doesn't matter what you say, only what you do and what you think.
Yep.
Just like people don't think that the flat tire issue is very simple as putting an inner liner in a tire. It's not. Good on NASCAR for amending their procedures to get the cars back to pit lane, get rid of the rub blocks. All right, great.
I think they said they're even working on a solution.
They'll have
which hopefully means inner liners. Which
give every recovery team some tires.
Yeah, it's like what we were saying a few weeks ago. There's going to be some teething problems with this car, so we'll see.
Go ahead, Joe. Instead of shaking your head aggressively or passive aggressively,
you can't
use your words.
You can't do an inner liner with the way this wheel is currently constructed. You'll have to completely restructure it. I don't know if that's something they're willing to do this year.
Yeah.
Giving the recovery team extra wheels, okay, now those guys are gonna have to get trained and stuff, and obviously they're not
trained. You put the wheel and you lock it in.
Okay,
but if you're on a NASCAR recovery team, I hope you know how to change a tire.
Well, the point being, there's not going to be any incentive for them to do it in 1 lap versus 3. I mean, you're still probably going to lose the same amount of time, if not maybe 1 lap less.
So, but that's still 1 lap less the driver has to make up because they didn't take 2
and they don't even have to be like
back.
Goodyear race tires. They can
just rollers.
A roll,
Fair enough.
Roll them back to pit lane, and that's it.
Just, hey, logistics might not work. Because the first time we do that, someone's going to lose a tire because the recovery team is going to fix the tire, and then we're going to be back to where we are, and a team suing NASCAR because their car got broke or something. I'm just saying. Just putting that out there. Putting that into the world. Here's a solution. Let every team have a truck on the pit lane behind their pit box, and if their car has a flat tire...
yes, that's way more cost effective. Thank you, Joe.
It's cheaper and simpler.
Joe's
instead of one recovery truck, we can have 36.
Joe's crapping on all of our ideas as if he knows everything in the world, because Joe just knows everything, and then he says, give every team a truck.
Thank you.
Shut up.
Thank you for admitting it for me. I didn't have to say it myself.
Shut up. No, I didn't admit nothing. It was all sarcasm. You know nothing.
Sarcasm.
Unreal.
Speaking of setting a tone, does this race set the tone for the year, or do we still have to wait?
Worst race ever.
Yeah, bad race.
No, but seriously.
Nope.
No. So I always thought Auto Club, like at the from like COT to beginning of Gen 6 was like one of the best races of the year every year. And I felt like this was kind of returned back to that. I hope this is a tone setter for the season. But we'll see, I guess, this weekend.
Yeah, it's a reason to be cautiously optimistic. Obviously, Auto Club's already a good racetrack. So a good race at Auto Club isn't exactly surprising to me. If we see another good race in Vegas, I think that does set the tone for the season. I thought the car raced really well. I thought the track was phenomenal, but we already knew that. So we'll just have to keep waiting and seeing. We don't know yet.
Also, if the rumors are true about the Auto Club short track project being dead in the water, I'm totally fine with that because this was great.
It was good. It was a good time.
Another thing to consider. This is the way I'm looking at it. Wait till we're out of the West Coast swing. So then we'll have 2 intermediates, a super speedway, and a short track.
Yep.
That's a good way to look at it.
So far, 3 weeks, 3 good races. So hopefully it keeps going.
Good job, NASCAR, for having positive momentum for once to start a year. Congrats.
And for having Matt Kenseth in the booth. That was pretty cool.
Listen. It's my main gripe with Fox last year was the fact that you had two guys trying to be the same person.
Mm-hmm.
That was not the case this past weekend with
No,
Matt Kenseth.
no, Matt Kenseth
awesome.
does not.
He was really good.
Yep.
Yeah. When it first got announced that he was going to do this week, people were like, "Oh, he's going to be so monotone." It's like he's not the play-by-play guy; he's the friggin' analyst.
Not supposed to be.
Yeah. It's like everybody dug up that clip of when he was doing like the live stream of the Daytona 500, and they wrecked on the last lap, and he's like, "Oh, we got a problem here," and it's like, yeah, he's not going to be in that position in this broadcast because his position is for when Mike Joy goes, "Hey, Matt Kenseth," and then he answers him.
Hey, Matt, what do you think of this?
And he was great at it because Matt Kenseth is really smart.
Yeah, and also like, Mike Joy alluded to it in the broadcast, but he's the guy who'll make a comment that'll kind of like later,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like we'll say a thing and he'll be like, "Oh wait, that was funny," but he said that like a minute ago. I don't know if I should laugh.
There were a lot of really good.
I love it.
Good drops. Boyer has really impressed me this year too.
Yeah,
Boyer's actually been good.
He is, again, no Jeff Gordon in the booth, I think, but and also I think they're probably putting more responsibility on him now with bringing like a third person in, kind of. I think but I have been impressed with Boyer because I definitely had a lot of gripes with him last year.
His dynamic with Kenseth is really good because they're obviously opposites. Matt Kenseth is very dry humor, and Boyer is very flamboyant, and so it's like a really good duo where Boyer can kind of like toss something, like alley-oop something to Matt Kenseth, and then he'll just like dunk it with like some like real deadpan one-liner.
I see what you did
also
there.
I was mid-joke when I realized I was wearing a basketball hat, so
big NBA fan Matthew Steelman.
Yeah, go basketball.
But yeah, I'm interested to see how the booth dynamic is these next 2 weeks with Danica Patrick, because
let me tell you,
not the biggest fan of Danica at SRX, but
let me tell you.
You tell me.
If there's one thing I want to do, I want to win Clint's money, damn it. I want to win Clint's money. Right now, right here, right now, I want to win Clint's money.
I won Clint's money last year. I won like $9.
Did you? How'd that go?
Eventually, it's gonna run out.
I got $9.
Did you get $9? Was it?
Not enough to attend the cash out.
You didn't cash out?
You gotta win it again.
So I just have $9 sitting there in that app, wait to be cashed out because I need another $1.
Wow, dude.
It was at Dover.
Man.
Of course, that was like 1,000 people won. So
yeah, you got to win this money again. So you're gonna have to get you get at least $1 if you win again. So
yeah,
you gotta win Clint's money, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, speaking of winning and being money, Scotty McLaughlin.
Scott Money McLaughlin. What?
Golly, that was fun to see.
Yeah, he fell on his ass. That was pretty good.
That was really funny.
He was having fun, man. He went
in the span of like 10 minutes, he fell off of his car, burned his butt sitting on the side of his car, and then drank champagne out of his shoe.
He did a shoey, baby.
Like Scott was livid.
He was like, he fell on his ass, was burning his butt, having a great time, and then like mid interview, he was like, "Oh my god, I'm tired." like mid interview, he was like, "Oh." like as if dawned on him how tired he was. It was really funny.
I missed the start, but pretty much first round of pit stops I saw. But holding off Pelot late was very impressive, especially kind of navigating the traffic.
Yeah.
Let us be reminded that this track he had 2 previous starts on. So definitely one of the tracks where he has more experience.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how much that plays into things, but definitely
always helps.
Definitely could tell he had some more confidence to start this year than compared to last year.
You know what I found interesting? So I was listening to Dale Jr. Download, and they had Ernie Francis on there, and they were talking about Scott McLaughlin and how he wants to eventually go to NASCAR because that's the whole reason he came over here. And Roger Penske was like, "You got to win an IndyCar first," and then I saw him win, and I was like, "That's awesome! Watch out, everybody! He's coming soon."
Chase Elliott, your days are numbered.
Yeah. So no, it was awesome. The Scott McLaughlin is like a world-class driver.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure to check out his Dinner with Racers episode.
The crazy part about him, though, is the fact that he wants to do NASCAR. Like
it's because Well, because it's because the
V8
V8 supercar
I know,
connection, yeah.
But I find it hilarious that he's like, oh yeah, Roger, I want to do NASCAR. And, I'm already a Ford driver. Now you're going to go run Chevys and IndyCar. Because we don't have an Xfinity program seat open.
Has there ever been a Kiwi NASCAR driver? I got to look this up now.
Same thing with Ernie Francis Jr. He wanted to do NASCAR, but they're like, nah, IndyCar.
Nobody got a vegetable. Please cut that out.
Oh,
no.
That was awful.
To be fair,
I probably will actually cut that out because that was pretty
he's
bad.
kind of a tool. So if you were to leave it in, I would not blame you.
Care. That was uncalled for.
Can you only bleep out the name, please?
I will.
Oh my god.
I will send you the unbleeped version so you can post it to whatever you feel like, Davey.
Wait a minute, Chris Vanderdrift is from New Zealand?
No, but it was cool to see McLaughlin do really well.
Yeah.
I wish I had my shirt on, but
I don't think there's ever been a Kiwi NASCAR driver, so
unfortunate. Well, there's gonna be one soon enough.
Yeah. Give it a year or two, yeah.
Honestly. Davey's guy, Jimmy Johnson, looked better than he did all of last year, so good for Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's getting better and better.
I love it. It's
he was
good
still
to see.
like 20th though, right?
He finished 20th or 21st.
Oh, so
he ran a lot better though. Like he was running decent. I know strategy and pit stops and stuff played a role, but he was like running well.
I think
that's all I can ask for.
I want to see how he does at Texas.
I'm excited to see the ovals. I know he's still not going to be up to speed because this is a track that he's never raced at in this car, so he's still going to be behind regardless of the oval thing. But I'm excited. I just want to
see where he stacks up though.
Yeah,
especially going into month of May.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? I mean, it was fun. IndyCar was fun. Man, but that Cup race was just so good. I completely forgot everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Because I think last year, the IndyCar stuff was easier to remember because the Cup races were atrocious at times.
Well, and IndyCar had a really good season last year, and they were like, oh, NASCAR, we're coming for you. And then NASCAR just, stuffed them back in a locker with the next gen. Like, know your place, nerd.
You don't get to date the homecoming queen. I do.
Get in the trash can.
I know one thing. MFers be counting out Scott Dixon as if he's mathematically locked out. That's a mistake. He don't know it yet. That's a mistake.
Oh, God, I wish I could count out Scott Dixon.
Yeah, but Ganassi runs through Alex Palou now, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? But a really, really good IndyCar race. You know something else that's really, really good?
Me.
What is it, Joe?
It's the JTN merch store where you can get. That was loud.
Sorry, I was like,
we're having a
very
show
hyper
tonight.
Today. I don't know why.
Because we're recording it like an hour earlier than we normally would. You can go to the JTN
we have
merch
energy.
Store.
Energy.
Yeah. You can go to the JTN merch store now. Get yourself some JTN.
No,
merch.
dead air.
I have.
I just bought like $40 worth of stickers. So.
And the best part about that is JTN will see probably $10 worth of profit.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. No,
our prices are so low.
I'm finally starting project. I just lost my stylus. Sticker blast my Surface with JTN stickers, so it's gonna happen. So.
But you can get yourself some JTN merch. I really appreciate it when you do. It kind of helps support some of these back end things that we like to do to help improve our broadcast, our podcasts. Maybe eventually the boys can actually get paid. Maybe we'll set up a 1% discount if you use a fake racer's code. That way I know that they should get paid for it.
There you go.
But with all that being said, folks, money isn't the only thing we like. We just like to hook you up with some sweet merch. So go check it out. We got coffee mugs, we got pint glasses, tumblers, stickers, hoodies,
I need to get a coffee mug. We gotta have a Fake Racers podcast morning show so I can have a cup of coffee.
Hey, wink, wink! Don't buy that coffee mug. Just these guys. You guys at home buy the coffee mugs.
But, okay, buy the coffee mug.
Yeah, go ahead, Davey. I don't care.
Floor it.
But appreciate when you guys do that, of course. But the best way is always to make sure you're subscribed to us here on YouTube, whether it be here on JTN2, you're following our podcast on your podcast platform of preference, PPP, Triple P, or making sure you're following us on social media. With all that being said, though, again, check out the JTN merch store. Link down in the video description below, where you can find links for it on our social media pages. Cole Custer, able to win a very long Xfinity race that I think ran 3.5 hours. First race win for SS Greenlight Racing.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, I mean...
Woohoo! Cole Custer.
Do we care?
I mean, good for Cole. I mean, you see these guys who make it to Cup and then kind of flounder for a while, and it's like, drop back down to Xfinity and win a race and be like, yeah, no, I can still do this. So it'll be a confidence boost for him.
And not to take anything away from SS Greenlight, but for all the people being like, oh, they finally did it. They won with their own car. If that car wasn't prepared by Stuart Haas Racing, I would be severely shocked.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
it was an SHR car, but still, like for a guy like Bobby Daughters,
I'm just
been
saying,
around forever.
Temper the expectations, right?
Yeah.
We all know Joe Graff Jr. ain't going out and winning that car this week.
Shout out to Cole Custer's teammate for DNQing.
I think he had a mechanical issue, though.
Yeah, I think that's
what actually. So let's not make fun of him this time.
Too much, yeah.
He follows me on Twitter. I think he follows a lot.
He follows me too. He follows me, and I don't follow him back. Not because I dislike him, but I just enjoy the power dynamic of it. So
I followed him because I saw he followed me. I was like, oh man.
It's one of those things where I feel kind of bad when I see a really funny post like talking smack about Joe Graff and I like it, because then he probably sees it and I'm like, I don't hate you. It's just the truth.
It's just funny that you DNQ'd an RCR car at Michigan
and a colleague car.
Yeah, but the Michigan RCR car.
Yeah,
that's
Wait, wasn't that at Bristol?
Colleague was Bristol.
Oh, that's what it was.
He might have DNQ'd at Iowa too in an RCR car.
Something like that. It was bad.
I know he DNQ'd at Michigan because I remember being like, wow, the 21 didn't make the field. Oh, and I moved on with my day. We had some more scuffles between a driver that you like, Josh
Two
Berry,
drivers that I like,
and Austin Hill. Barry kind of did the same thing Larson did, just a lot worse.
Yeah. So, and
really.
Austin Hill
ran him over.
Yeah, Austin Hill came up to wanted to confront him after the race, and he was like, "What was that about?" Josh Berry's like, "I'm sorry."
Shook hands. Josh Berry was like, "Yeah, he probably owes me one. I'll get one back here." It's like, hey, nothing. You can't say anything bad about Josh Berry. Dude owns up to his stuff.
Oh yeah,
always like to see it. Davey, you've been quiet. Do you have anything? Did you even watch Xfinity?
Xfinity is boring again. Cup Series is good. That means Xfinity is boring.
Friendship ended with Xfinity Series. Cup Series is my new best friend.
Hey,
deal with it.
For all the people complaining about the numbers, just watch the Xfinity Series. You'll have fun still.
For a second there on Sunday, I thought like, man, I kind of don't like the numbers anymore. And then I remembered I wasn't a little bitch.
I'm not muting that. I'm done bleeping these shows, man.
Oh my god!
Just don't say the bad word.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
I know you got your cool guy sunglasses on. Don't do it.
I don't give a frick, man.
Oh no, you said my kryptonite. So
no, we didn't. He said frick, idiot.
Yeah. Hey, look, this is an adult show. We might let a few flip words fly. Whatever.
Man, I love being on spring break.
Yeah.
But
back. Where should we go to vacation?
You should. You know where you should go to vacation?
Where, Joe?
CircleDiecast.com.
We shouldn't record podcasts this early anymore. I have too much energy.
No, this is perfect.
Too much energy.
I've been stupid tired the last 2 weeks, and this week I'm actually awake.
No, but actually, folks, Circle V Diecast, they got all of your diecast needs covered. You can head on over there now, order yourself some next-gen cars, including Kyle Larson's California raced version. I know Matthew's going to order it right now because
probably
he's
gonna
a
have to
big
get
Kyle
that
Larson fan, especially because it's in his home state.
All right, I'll do it.
But they got much more. We've just posted a new diecast review today too, so go check that out. Another one probably coming later in the week because apparently Disqualified isn't getting recorded anymore.
Yeah, I realized that this morning. I was like, we forgot to record yesterday.
We didn't set a time. Tommy and I asked each other at like 11:30. We're like, wait, was it? You know what?
It was like 9 o'clock my time, and I
one.
was like, "Oh, we didn't record Disqualified."
Tommy and I had a moment where we're like, "Yeah, well, it's, you know.
Yeah. It's coming, we swear."
Go check those out if you haven't already. They're good. But again, CircleBdiecast.com. They got all your diecast needs ready. They also, of course, have new 2022 t-shirts, hats, and much more already in stock. So if you need to get some new gear, if your guy has a new paint scheme, a new ride, you need some new gear, again, Circle B Diecast has you covered. You're going to use our code JTN at checkout, and you'll receive free shipping on that order of $20 or more to the continental United States only.
Whoa.
Sorry, Hawaii.
That reminds me, Joe. I need to do a diecast review, I think, because I got my Daniel Suarez diecast in a while ago. Now I need to film one. Yeah, now I need to film a diecast review.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
I have done no research. I've told this story before. I've done no research on how to do it, but I will do it.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to do it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know like how to actually do one. So I'm just gonna do it.
Just make sure you take the car off the base. That's the only requirement.
I mean, I was gonna.
Okay.
I know that.
Okay, there's some people don't. Some people don't.
Well, those people are stupid.
I guess
so
you're not
if you're
some
one
people.
of those people. That's a problem.
But I'd really appreciate that if you went and checked out those diecast reviews too. There.
Yeah, only watch mine though.
That's fine. Only watch Davey's.
Only watch mine.
But again, folks, Circle B Diecast, they got you covered. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going to Sin City. Gonna gamble. Gonna throw the dice a little bit. Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup all on a schedule. Friday, Saturday,
triple header. Kyle Busch trucks.
Sick whammy pedal. Was that Tom Morello playing?
Who the heck? Tom Morello? That sounds
Kyle
like
Busch
a cartoon character. Kyle Busch for trucks.
That's lame.
Boo.
Who you got, Matthew?
That's a good question. Let me look at the entry list.
Please say Kyle Busch.
We can take the same people. I don't care.
No, I'm mixing it up.
Wait, hold on.
Can I take my guy then?
Yeah.
Yeah, Davey, you picked the wrong guy. Quick, Matthew, pick the right guy. Pick him. 17 truck. Pick him.
Who's
Hold
the
on.
17 truck?
Davey's favorite.
Hold on.
Landon Castle.
No.
Stop.
Matthew, just say Ryan Preece.
Stop, Ryan Preece.
So Davey picks Kyle Busch. Matthew picks Ryan Preece. I'm gonna pick Grant Enfinger. That's what you.
Camera. I broke my camera.
It's better if you just leave it that
This
way.
episode is a mess.
Just leave it that way.
Every.
You have screenshot this. There you go. I'm screenshotting that. There we go.
My camera.
Xfinity Series. I'm gonna take Daniel Hemrick.
Crap.
Give me Josh Berry.
Matthew takes
Crap,
Josh
idiot.
Berry.
Oh,
now I'm
man.
Davey.
Hey, I'm Joe.
Davey, are you gonna
Show
fix
us
your
the
camera,
best.
or are you gonna?
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't know.
God.
Oh my god.
Can't do anything. I need a new camera.
There
Yeah.
Here he comes.
He's back.
Davey, who you got? Xfinity.
Ryan Preece.
Nope. Try again. I'll just take a lame pick and pick Ty Gibbs.
No, that's lame. I'm not gonna do that. I will go. I'll go Landon Castle in hopes that he proves me wrong.
So you want him to do bad?
No, in hopes that he proves me wrong. I think he's gonna do terrible.
Okay, I see. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew, you picked. You're first.
I'm gonna mix it up and go
Kyle Larson. Is that who you're gonna go with?
Yeah, I'm just gonna Kyle Larson. I didn't have anybody else picked out.
Such a douche.
I was gonna be like, I'm gonna mix it up, pick Chase Elliott, and I was like, no, because I really don't want to
Davey, who you got?
Chase on Sunday.
Who do I got?
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Reddick.
I'm gonna go with another guy we didn't talk about earlier, who was really impressive, and then I don't know what happened. Chase Briscoe.
Oh, they didn't pit on the last caution, and then
That's right.
yeah, and then they dropped like a rock.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Something else went wrong before that, though.
He was running in like 8th for like that whole run, I think. He got like a speeding penalty, I think, or something like that.
Well, that's why he was back in 8th, because he was like 2nd before the speed. Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it.
I think so.
Again, this is another validation test for the next gen car on Sunday. We know Xfinity will probably be pretty good, and trucks are always good at Vegas for some reason. I have no idea. It's an outlier.
Sin City, baby.
And,
Sin City.
and we know those truckers.
Sin
They
City.
love to sin.
What does that imply?
I didn't like that at all,
That's so
actually.
ominous.
I didn't like that.
No. Mom, come pick me up.
I'm scared.
Well, folks, we can't thank you enough because I think we had fun this episode, which we put the F back in FRP. A fun racing podcast, but implying that no other racing podcast is fun, which
Correct.
pretty safe assumption.
I mean, you are objectively right with that. It's just not nice to say it.
I said the quiet powered out loud again, didn't I? But
what an episode.
Matthew, where can they find more from you?
You can find me on Twitter at msteelman51. Did I tweet anything special this week? I don't know.
You weren't complaining about Fox this week as much.
No, I was actually
because the race was so good, it was hard to hard to focus.
Also,
real quick, imagine the people that watch the international feeds that you have like the normal ticker across the top. And just see everyone complaining about the Fox box.
They're like, "What's the deal?" Also, disqualified next episode, hopefully out soon once we find a time and actually remember to record it.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's it.
Would you care to divulge some information about where the fellas that watch this can check out your ramblings and social media posts?
You know where to smell me.
All right.
What was that?
I don't know what that was.
But... You just took attention away from what I just did onto what you just did, and I want to know what you just did.
Guess you'll just have to tune in next time to find out, folks. Make sure if you haven't already, you hit the like button on the video, subscribe, like our podcast on your favorite podcast platform. That does a lot to help support us as well. Share it with your friends, because we are terrible at marketing, because none of us are marketing majors. And definitely, at least 2 of us are not very professional. But
which 2 is up for you to decide.
I wonder who he's talking about.
But once again, folks, can't thank you for tuning in and watching. Again, subscribe, like, do all those things. Make sure you're following us on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, at Johto Network, at Fake Racers on Twitter as well, to stay up to date with just Fake Racers content. But we'll see you guys in the next edition next week of the Fake Racers podcast. So long for now.
I'm Daredevil.
Matthew, you got to do the thing.
Sweet.